My name's Becky. Welcome, everybody. Super excited to have you here. We're going to cover a couple of things today. Number one is we're going to go over a couple tips for various health goals, because I know not everybody wants to lose weight and not everybody just wants to get lean. So everybody has different goals, right? Some of you might be looking to just lower your blood pressure or have better skin. And some of you might really want that massive weight loss. And some of you might just want like abs or get more like lean. So everybody has different goals. We'll go over a couple tips for that. The second thing we're going to go over is easy, quick meal ideas, because who here agrees that we're all busy and sometimes we just don't have time to really cook healthy meals? Like it takes intention, right? Especially if it's not in your lifestyle, you're not used to it. It could take being on a different program could cause a little bit of stress, right? I know for me, because I'm not a cook and I do not enjoy cooking. I know some of you are amazing cooks, so you'll really enjoy this program. I think it takes too much time and I hate the cleaning afterwards. So we're going to go over some easy, quick meal ideas so you can stay on the program and not feel stressed about what to eat every single day. And then the third thing we're going to go over is what happens when you eat out. So we can't avoid life. We can't live in a bubble. So we have to make sure that we equip ourselves. We call it, how do you have the cake and eat it too? How do you have phenomenal results but still enjoy all these special occasions? And then lastly, we're going to teach you how to read nutrition labels. And this is such an important skill to have, because honestly, ever since I've been introduced to this program and got educated on this, I feel like I've gone through school to know exactly what I'm putting in my body, because now I'm recognizing what to look for in a nutrition label. And if I don't understand an ingredient, I just Google it. We have so much information nowadays, right? So we're going to go over that with you. So a couple things before we get to the next step. I want to introduce Lily. She's going to be my co-host. We're going to be doing this thing together. So let's go over some self-assessment. When we did the launch call, we gave you 3 top things to focus on, because when it comes to this transformation challenge and health, and our body is so complicated, there's so many things, and sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming. So we boiled it down to 3 things you should focus on this program, because we've done this for over a decade, trained thousands of people, helped thousands of people in this community. And so the 3 things are, number 1 is, are you following the approved food list? And this is so important. If you don't know, when you got the box, when you opened it, you should be, I know a lot of times we don't read instructions. We're just like, oh, let's just go use it, right? Especially guys. I notice when they open anything new, they like don't ever read the manual. I'm always like, give me the manual. Let me read it first. I don't want to break anything like Melissa did. I'm just kidding. And so I was like, I want to read everything. So this is so important. This pamphlet, you want to read every single word of it. It's so helpful. It already gives you so many tips. But in the middle section, you will see this approved food list. So sorry, my background is blurred. But this is everything that you can eat on this program. Now, a lot of people, when they look at this list, they're already stressing out. They're like, oh my gosh, I can't have my pasta. I can't have my rice. Like, I'm Asian, right? So you can imagine when I first saw this list and how I felt. And then I got educated on what we're doing here. Because a lot of times people feel like, oh, this is just like, I can't do a diet. I can never stick to a diet. But remember when I told you in the launch call that this is not about willpower. This program, those magic drops, truly help you heal your entire body. And the reason we designed this to have a list for you to follow initially is because it takes a minimum of 21 days for your body to like replenish any like micronutrients or, reboost your metabolism, stabilize your blood sugar. So it really depends on where you're at with your health. Like some people are in horrible state of health. They've been feeding junk to their body for decades, and then this might take a little longer. Some people, you've been decently healthy, but there are certain things that are inflammatory to your body, to your gut, and you don't realize what it is. So this list, if you follow this program, every single food on this list is meant to nourish your body. And what that does is, as you're going through the challenge and going through the program, it's actually going to help heal your gut, fire your metabolism back up again. So we're not trying to have you just go on another diet in 3 months. We really want to heal your body so you can, this is why your weight will stay off, because you're literally refueling your body and making sure that your metabolism is back on track again. You're detoxing your body, you're balancing your hormones, and you're getting all the micronutrients that you need from these food. And so that's why it's so important. So make sure you set a goal. Just know this is not forever. You're not going to like, of course, you're going to go out and eat something off the list. You're not going to do this forever, but the goal is really healing. And the goal is this lifestyle lifestyle change afterwards, right? And you're only going to, in the grand scheme of life, like 8 weeks is not that long, right? So just make a decision to stick with it. And the second thing is, are you hitting your protein count? If you did guide 1, you will learn how to, in Wellness 360, where we prepped you, you'll know how much protein that you'll need to intake. And why that's important is because protein is literally in every single cell of our body. Amino acids, it determines, if you're, for ladies out there, if you're like, I don't want to look old and I don't want to age that quickly, you need amino acids because it's literally the building block of every single one of your cells. It will help you heal quickly, repair everything. It'll help with your skin. It'll help with your hair. It'll help with everything. So you need to make sure you have good, healthy protein. And one of my favorite protein is this Pure Nourish shake that we have. It is a meal replacement shake, and 2 scoops has 18 grams of protein. So you can get a good amount of protein just by taking that. It's also vegan protein, so it's very easily digestible. And the last thing is, are you drinking enough filtered water? So important to have clean water. If you don't have one yet, make sure you get one of our Purity water filter, because you can literally take the bottle anywhere and you can get the cleanest water out of it. The Slenderize program recommends that we drink 8 to 10 8-ounce water a day. So that's like 80 ounces a day. So initially, if you're not the type of person that drinks a lot of water, you might need to like make a mark for yourself, like, and just start tracking. So that's self-assessment time, right? So make sure that you are doing that. And if you're not, it's okay. Like, just make it a habit, right? Make it a goal that this week I'm going to do better, right? Whichever you're having challenges with. And next, we're going to go over some tips for different categories. I mentioned to you earlier that I know not everybody is here to lose weight, although we all have, most of us have a couple pounds to lose, right? Especially in the midsection area. But let's go over. So let's say you are trying to get lean and mean. I know there are people that are already in a good, healthy weight and they just want to get more lean. Maybe they want to have more definition. Maybe they want abs for the summer. I don't know what it is. So a couple tips. Number 1 is that some of the things we've seen really helpful is, while you're using this program, is to work out at least 3 times a week and in a fasted state. So you actually burn a lot more calories when you're working out fasted, meaning before you eat your first meal, get your workout in first. Okay, so that's the first tip. And the second tip is you want to track your macros a little bit more carefully. And yeah, James mentioned 300 more fat loss when you are working out in a fasted state. And the second thing is tracking your macros, which is your fat, carbs, and protein, a little bit more carefully. Now, for people that are not too familiar with that, you don't have to stress out too much. It's the rule of thumb is keep your carbs under 50 grams a day, and then make sure you have like 1 grams of protein per pound of lean muscle mass that you have. So let's say if you have 100 pounds of muscle, eat 100 grams of protein. And when we say grams of protein, we'll teach you a little bit more about how do I know if a fillet of salmon, how much protein is in there. Like, we'll teach you that, but you can find all that on Google actually. So if you just Google it, you'll be able to find out. And then the last tip for this category is really try to make it a goal to do something called intermittent fasting. So keep your feeding window within 6 to 8 hours, because every time you eat, it doesn't matter if you're having a meal or a snack, and it spikes your insulin level. So it's really important. So the longer you can fast, the longer it puts your body in a position where it's getting to your fat to burn for energy. So it will be, so personally, I have my meal around like 11:30 in the morning to like 5:30. So I eat all my meals, everything I eat between a 6-hour window. The shorter your window, the better, because the longer you're able to fast, the more your body is going to use the fat for energy. So that's for the lean and mean category. And if you're in this program for weight loss, a couple of things is, number 1 is you want to weigh yourself first thing after you use the bathroom and wake up. And weighing yourself is so important. And why that's important is because you want to make sure you're on track, right? Because what we don't want you to do is have 2 weeks gone by and you have no idea if you're losing weight, and maybe there's something you ate, or maybe there's some hidden sugar in your food that you didn't realize that's causing you to retain a lot of water or get inflamed and all that stuff. So if you weigh yourself every day, then you know if what you're eating is actually supporting this weight loss. And if it's not, then you can talk to one of your wellness advisors or post your questions in Wellness 360 and we can troubleshoot. We want to help you make sure you get the best results. So if you don't weigh yourself, no one can help you. If you don't know where you are, you can't really track that progress. And the second tip we want to encourage you to do is to take progress photos and measurements. Maybe every week on a Sunday, just take a couple photos and to see where you are, because sometimes you might not see the weight loss in the scale, but you'll see it in how your clothes is is fitting. You're seeing in how your measurements are. So make sure you do that. That's going to be super helpful. And lastly is you want to aim to keep your carb less than 30 grams or so a day. And the reason this is important is because carbs actually make you really tired. I know a lot of times people are like, oh my gosh, I can't get rid of my carbs. And it's because we're literally chemically addicted to carbohydrates. And that's why we encourage you to eat more protein, because the thermic effect of the protein will allow you to get actually more energy and you're actually going to feel more excited. I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you just finished a meal and you want to take a nap. That's like the routine, right? I just finished eating and now want to take a nap. And that's probably because you had too much food coma. That's probably because you had way too much carbs. So you want to make sure that you monitor that. If you have, and then for health transformation, I'll go over this. It kind of aligns with the weight loss as well. The first tip in the health transformation section is have at least 3 tablespoons of coconut oil a day. And it's because coconut oil is the only oil that doesn't require digestive enzymes from the pancreas to convert your fat to fuel. A lot of people take fat and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fat because I'm eating fat. And coconut oil is a special oil. It actually doesn't convert to fat at all. So it's very safe and it actually fires up your metabolism. It's really healthy. And same thing with people that are in the weight loss category that wants to like lose massive amount of weight. You want to prioritize your fat with coconut oil. So if you have a choice between avocado and coconut oil, I would take coconut oil. Coconut oil is way better for you in terms of fat loss. And then the second tip, if you're in the health transformation, I would recommend to make sure that you monitor your health metrics, your blood pressure, your sugar levels. And if you feel like, I feel really good. And I hear this a lot from clients and they're like, I feel more energy. I feel so much better. I think I don't need to take my medication anymore. And that's one thing that we really want to emphasize, that you make sure you consult with your medical doctor. Don't just try to do it yourself. If you're feeling better, great. Let your doctor know and the medical professionals will be able to help you wean off some of these medications. We have seen in the past a ton of stories about people literally getting their medication cut in half or getting off completely. So it's totally possible, but do it under the supervision of a medical professional. Don't try to do it yourself. And then lastly is waking up with an electrolyte drink. And what this is we recommend 16 ounces of water plus 1 tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon and 1/4 teaspoons of pink salt. And when you do this, what happens is it really helps with, because a lot of people are deficient in minerals. So these are really helpful to kind of like cleanse your body and fire up your metabolism and make sure that you become fat adapted and you're able to have that energy to carry on throughout the day. So that's a good habit to have even when you're not in this challenge. It's just something good to do on a daily basis. So those are the tips for each category. And lastly, I want to share with you, Lily's going to talk a lot more about this, but in terms of where to find things to eat, go to Wellness 360, click on media, click on albums, and click on the delicious recipes. We have all of the recipes there for you to reference. If you're like, I don't know what to make today, you can go there and be able to really get some inspiration. We also have actually snacks or dessert ideas if you have sweet tooth and you want to do that as well. And other than that, I'm going to pass it to Lily. She's going to go over more tips and tricks on meal ideas.
Thank you so much, Becky. For those of you that don't know me, I want to just quickly introduce myself. My name is Lily Liu, and I am 58 years young. And prior to going on this program, I don't know if any of you guys can relate. I was working 60 hours a week and I skipped meals all the time. And when I did eat, it was probably not the wisest choice. It led me down this path. This is 7 years ago. I had excruciating abdominal pain. I was borderline diabetic. I had high triglycerides and my weight skyrocketed to a point where I was heavier than when I was pregnant with my daughter. And I tried exercising in the gym. I tried other meal plans, Jenny Craig and Ideal Protein. And even though I lost the weight, I gained it all back. But what I didn't like about it was I was eating packaged food. And for someone that loves to cook, that's the part I didn't enjoy. So I couldn't believe that when I got introduced to this program, in merely 3 months, I actually lost 26 pounds, 14% body fat, and all those health issues I just shared with you were gone. And it's been 7 years. I am so thankful. And I maintained the weight loss. I want to share with you how simple it is. This is not a diet. You don't have to starve yourself. Like I said, what Becky said as well, well, I'm going to be the Rachel Ray. I don't know if you guys know, put a 1 if you know who Rachel Ray is. It's like quick, easy meals. A 10-minute meal, 3 ingredients. I'm going to go over this. Becky went over the first one. If you're coming home from a day of work and you're tired, don't reach for something that is not going to help you on this journey. Have a delicious shake. It's a meal replacement shake. It has your vitamins, it has your protein. If you put the giving greens in there, it's like 2 pounds of vegetables. So that's a nice, quick, easy meal. It's a meal replacement, but I promise you 3 ingredients or less, 10 minutes or less. What about a satisfying broccoli and mushroom? And what about like a arugula salad with some avocado, the healthy fat, and an egg for the protein? And you know what? I always say it's not better with bacon, it's better with garlic. Garlic's very medicinal, it's delicious. Saute your cauliflower with kale. Oh my goodness, it's delicious. You have your shrimp and garlic. And what I always like to say is cook it once and eat it 2 times or 3 times. So if you ground up saute some ground beef, put some onion and garlic in there, have a lettuce wrap. You can have that with a side of broccoli. So this is like different options. I want to kind of open up your mind to how easy you can eat real food, but it doesn't take a long time. And protein is really important. Becky went over that. Be hydrated. Make sure you eat lean protein. Stay on the food list. But if you like sashimi, salmon sashimi, it's a great source of protein. And if you like Hawaiian food, you probably heard about loco moco, right? But make it Sunrise approved. Omit the rice and have your delicious grass-fed beef patty with some Sunnyside egg, runny egg on top. Is delicious. You're going to get full, you're going to get satisfied, you're going to have the energy, and you won't have the food coma. But that's what you can cook at home. But what if you had to eat out? So I'm going to give you some tips for that as well. If you're going to have a nice salad, this is a tip for you. Have the dressing and the sauce on the side. You can control the amount that you maybe dip in it, and maybe even try swapping out some of the spice and herbs, have like oregano or have some lemon with some olive oil. So that's an option. And if you're going to have a steak or you're going to have fish, I would say instead of mashed potatoes, opt for a cauliflower mash or a cauliflower rice instead. So we always recommend replacing rice and noodles with extra veggies, or like if you're gonna have a tortilla like a burrito, ask for extra fajita, like the vegetables, rather than having the tortilla or the beans and rice. And you know what, you can go and enjoy your delicious hamburger, just have it protein style. Omit the bun and have it in less wrap. After a while, you're like not gonna miss the bun, I assure you. All right, if you're gonna have an omelet, omit the bad things like the sour cream and make it Slenderize approved. And what if, like, I'm gonna actually teach you something. Don't only read labels. That's all marketing, all right? The fat-free, the keto, the low carb, and all that. You know what? Instead, I'm going to teach you how to read the ingredients in that package. I'm Asian, and if you go out for Chinese food, most likely you're going to have this hoisin sauce in there, all right? And Lee Kum Kee is actually probably the most well-known soy sauce, but look at the first ingredient that's listed, sugar. Oh my goodness. Well, you have sugar in your vegetables already. Remember the amount of carbs that you should have in a given day, like under 50 grams. You already get sugar and carbs from your vegetables. So that's why I always say, have the giving greens. That's 2 pounds of vegetable without all the carbs. Here, look at this, sugar, water, soybean. Soybean, oh my God, if you have aches and joint issues, if you have inflammation, this is going to be even worse for you. And as you go on, the ingredients get worse. Potassium sorbate added as a preservative. When there's chemicals, your body's going to work really hard to break it down. It slows down the fat loss process, besides all the side effects that chemicals can have in your body, which I'm going to go over in the next slide. So what I would recommend is look for a product that has 3 ingredients or less. So the next slide I'm going to share with you is really a good tip here. Step 1, check the ingredients. Remember, not just read the marketing label. The shorter the list, the better. Reference the approved food list, but also look for the ingredients that you can't pronounce. They're probably like chemicals and colors and preservatives we just mentioned that you don't want in your body. And watch out for food additives such as maltodextrin or artificial sweeteners like aspartame. Aspartame is led to kill your brain cells. That's what's in like diet soda. So you don't want that. And secondly, check for the total carb content. Does it fit in your daily carb count? And thirdly, check the serving size. Okay, this will prevent you from overeating. So not only look at this information for your food, but also in your drinks and your packaged seasoning and sauces like we just did with the hoisin sauce. So this is a great example. If you're going to have a breakfast burrito, omit the tortilla and have coconut wrap. Look at this. Right now, I want you guys to be empowered to make the best decision by looking at the ingredients for you and your family. This product has organic coconut meat, organic coconut water, and organic extra virgin coconut oil. So you look at this, I understand what those are. I didn't have to like try to pronounce them. So it's only 3 ingredients. Enjoy your scrambled eggs with this coconut wrap. So I just want to thank you guys. I hope this encourages you guys to read at the ingredients. So I am so excited to hear your transformation story. And thank you for letting me share with you guys tonight to great health, you guys. Thank you.
I love that, Lily. I feel like so empowered, right? Like knowing that you have those options, because sometimes we feel like stuck, right? We feel like, oh, that's all there is. Like if I don't have this, what am I going to eat? I'm going to be so deprived. And that's totally not true, right?
You mentioned in that approved food list, people say, oh my God, I can't have the pasta. Look at the small box to avoid. Look at all the other stuff you could eat.
That's true. Like, I want you guys get adventurous. Try some vegetables you've never tried before on that list, right? I know I haven't ate everything on this list.
I never had quinoa. Like I've only seen it in salad bars, but you know what? I had it actually warm on the bottom of like a piece of salmon with some asparagus. It was delicious. So I want you guys to try something you haven't tried that's on the list, and you're going to fall in love with some food. And last but not least, I want you guys to share your story, what you discover. And if you have questions, ask it in the Wellness 360, because we would love to help you out. If you ever have any questions, and just like say, you know, I discover a new love, or the way I cook it, you know what? We all can benefit from each other. So that's what I wanted to share tonight.
Yeah, definitely. There's so many options. And honestly, a lot of restaurants, I love what you covered about eating out. A lot of restaurants are actually getting more conscious about realizing people are getting smarter. They're not being sold by commercials and all these processed food companies anymore. They're becoming their own advocate, and they're realizing they're asking for things, right? So there's so many restaurants I went to, and I was so surprised. They actually have cauliflower rice now. Like before you would ask for like just rice or brown rice. Now they have cauliflower rice. So literally just mashed up cauliflower that tastes like rice. So it's because people are realizing like how detrimental some of these foods that we've been fed all our life is. Like I grew up on those things, you know? So
when you ask for that, they don't like question. You're like, oh yeah, okay, I'll have it on the side. So it controls the amount that you're tasting. So you may not need the whole salad to be drenched in salad dressing.
Exactly. I always ask for salad dressing on the side, and I don't even dip in it. Sometimes I just want to try it because I'm curious. I like dip it with a toothpick, but I don't even need salad dressing anymore because my taste bud has completely changed, you know? So give yourself some time.
I totally agree with that. In fact, now after the Sunrise program, I notice when I eat out, everything's really salty to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. I also love in the comments, Steve said, if the food or item has a bunch of Z's, X's, Y's in it, it's longer than 10 letters, it's probably bad for you. Exactly. It's like, what is this thing? It's like a made up thing. It's not a food, you know, don't put it in your body, right? So I love that. I'm looking forward to see all of your story. If you're seeing some success, sharing Wellness 360, right? I love you guys so much and so proud of you. Let's do this together, guys. Bye-bye.